Hello guys, here welcome back. So today I'm going to be sharing with you how to draft and cut a fitted palazzo pant with side pocket. It is very simple, detailed and beginner friendly. So if this look like what you are interested in, please watch this video till the end. And if this is your first time on this channel, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share and also drop a comment. So before we go ahead to start drafting, the measurement you need for your palazzo pant is your waist circumference measurement. So to get that, you're going to go ahead to tie a bias on your waist. Then go ahead to take the measurement at that point. So you place the bias at the point where you want your palazzo pant to start from. Once you're done taking that measurement, the next measurement needed is your waist to hip depth measurement. You're going to go ahead to place your tape rule on the bias. Then you go ahead to take your measurement from that point to the highest point of your hip and go ahead to write that measurement down. Once you're done taking that measurement, the next measurement you need is your waist to your crotch depth. And to get this measurement, you're going to go ahead to sit on a hard stool. You're going to be sitting upright. Then you go ahead to place your tape rule on the bias you tied on your waist. Then take your measurement from that point to the top of the stool you are sitting on. Whatever you get to be used as the crotch depth line for the palazzo pants you are going to be making. Next, you're going to go ahead to take your waist to knee measurement and your waist to your full length measurement. So these are the basic measurements you're going to be needing for your palazzo pants. So once you're done taking this measurement, the next thing to do is to move over to your pattern paper to start drafting. So the first measurement I'm going to go ahead to insert is my waist to hip depth line, which is 9 inch. After marking that, I'll go ahead to insert my waist to my crotch depth line, which is 11 inch. Then I'll go ahead to insert my waist to the knee. My waist to knee is 24 inch. I'm going to go ahead to mark it like this. After marking the waist to knee, the next measurement I'm going to go ahead to insert is the full length of the palazzo pant. So the full length I'll be working with is 44 inch. So the length depends on how long and how flowing you want the palazzo pant to be. So once I'm done marking this measurement, the next I'm going to go ahead to do is to draw straight horizontal lines like you see me doing in the video. So after drawing the horizontal lines, the next I'm going to go ahead to do now is to insert my hip measurement divided by 4 on the crotch depth line, on the hip depth line, and also on the waistline. So my hip divided by 4 is 9.75. I'm going to be adding 0.5 inch for ease. Then I'll go ahead to insert that like you see me doing in the video. After inserting this measurement at this point, I'm going to go ahead to draw a straight vertical line like this. So after drawing the vertical line, the next I'm going to go ahead to do now is to start inserting my body circumference measurement. So the first measurement I'll be inserting is my waist measurement on the waistline. So all measurements will be taken from this point to this side like this. So I'm going to go ahead to place my tape rule on the top line and insert my waist measurement divided by 4, which is 7.75, and mark. After marking that, I'll connect that point to the hip depth line with the curved part of my ruler like this. So after connecting the waist to the hip depth line, the next we're going to go ahead to do now is to draw the crotch extension for the palazzo pants. And to do that, what I'll go ahead to do is to measure what I have on this crotch depth line like this. So what I have here is 9.5. I'll go ahead to divide the 9.5 into 4. So I'll fold my tape rule into 2 like this. Then I'll go ahead to fold it again. So you divide whatever you have at that point into 4. So after dividing, what I have was almost 2.5. I'm going to go ahead to measure the 2.5 outward like this and mark. So this is going to be the crotch extension for the palazzo pant I'm going to be making. So whatever you measure at that point, you divide that into 4. Next, you're going to be going out by 1 inch from this point like this and mark. After marking that, you're going to go ahead to draw the curve for the crotch. So you place the curve part of your ruler like this, making sure that the curve passed through that 1 inch you went out by. Then you go ahead to draw the curve like you see me doing in the video. So if you don't have a curve ruler, you can use your hand to simply do this, but make sure that the curve touches that 1 inch you went out by. So the next thing I'm going to go ahead to do now is to look for the grid line for the trouser we are making. And to do that, I'm going to go ahead to measure what I have on the crotch depth line like this. Then I'll go ahead to divide whatever I have at that point into 2. After dividing, I'll go ahead to insert that measurement from the crotch depth line all the way down to the hem of the trouser, after which I'll connect the point together. I'm doing this because I don't want the side seam of the palazzo pant to be moving to the front after making the trouser. So doing this is going to help you to allocate your measurement properly, and you will not have issues with the side seam coming over to the front, and you'll be able to get the crease line for the trouser you are making. So after drawing the grid line, this is what it is going to look like. The next thing I'm going to go ahead to do now is to move over to the new line of the palazzo pant I'm going to be making. So the palazzo pant I'm making, I don't want it to be too big. I want it to be moderate. So on the new line, what I'll go ahead to do is to go in by 1 inch on the new line. So if you want yours to be very free or loose, can go in by 0.5 inch or not go in at all. But for me, I want it to be a little bit fitted, not too loose. So I'm going to be going in by 1 inch on the new line and mark. After marking that, I'll connect that point to the crotch depth line with my ruler like you see me doing in the video. So after connecting it, the next thing I'm going to go ahead to do now is to measure what I have from this point to the grid line like this. So I'll go ahead to take that measurement. What I have at this point is 5 inch. After taking that measurement, I'm going to go ahead to insert the same 5 inch on this other side and mark. So I'm doing this way because I don't want the side seam of my pant to move over to the front after making it. And this is me trying to make sure that the measurements are equal on both sides of the pant, so that after making the pant, the side seam will not move over to the front. After doing that, I'm going to go ahead to connect it to the crotch line like so. So after connecting it, the next thing I'm going to go ahead to do now is to move over to the hemline. On the hemline, I'll also be going in by 1 inch and I'll go ahead to mark. So if you want the hemline to be a little bit smaller, you can also go ahead to go in by 1.5 inch or 2 inch. You can insert whatever measurements you want at that point. It depends on how free and how big you want your palazzo pant to be. Once I'm done marking the 1 inch, I'll also come up to this point and mark 1 inch, so I'll be able to draw a straight vertical line at that point. After marking the 1 inch inward, I'm going to go ahead to connect the point together with a straight line like you see me doing in the video. After connecting, I'll go ahead to measure what I have at this point and I'll also replace it on the other side like this and mark. Then I'll go ahead to connect the new to the hem of the trouser with a straight line like you see me doing in the video. So after connecting the points together, this is what the palazzo pant is going to look like. The next thing I'm going to go ahead to do now is to move over to the waist to draw the underbelly curve. And this underbelly curve is going to prevent the palazzo pant from folding when the trouser is being worn. And to do that, I'm going to be coming down by 0.5 inch on this part like this and mark. Then I'll go ahead to place the curved part of my ruler and connect it to the side like you see me doing in the video. So this is what the underbelly curve is going to look like. So the next I'm going to go ahead to do now is to insert my zipper allowance. So I want the zipper of this trouser to be at the front. I'm going to go ahead to mark a zipper allowance of 1 inch like this, and the zipper allowance will be stopping on the hip depth line. After marking that, I'll connect the points together with a straight line like you see me doing in the video. So this is what the zipper allowance of the palazzo pants we are making is going to look like. So you can decide to place the zipper on the side or on the back. After doing all this is what the front block of the palazzo pants is going to look like. The next I'm going to go ahead to quickly do now is to cut it out. So after cutting, this is what the front block of the palazzo pant is going to look like. The next I'm going to go ahead to do now is to draft the back block for the palazzo pant. And to do that, I'm going to be using this front block to draft the back block. So I'll go ahead to fold in the zipper allowance I have on the front block like this, so that I'll be able to use it to draft the back block properly. So after folding it in, I'm going to go ahead to get a fresh paper and place the front block on it like you see me doing in the video. So I've gone ahead to place the front block on the fresh paper that I'm going to be using to cut out the back block of the trouser I'm making. So the front and the back block of the palazzo pant is the same. The difference is the crotch, because the crotch of the back is a little bit longer than that of the front, and also the back rise of the trouser because the waist for the back is higher than that of the front. So that's the difference between the front and the back block of the pant. Every other thing is going to be the same thing. So the next I'm going to go ahead to do now is to draw the crotch extension for the back block of the palazzo pant I'm making. So if you're a small size, you can go out by 1.5 inch at this point. If you're size 8 and above, you can go out by 2 inch or 2.5 inch. So for me, I'm going to be going out by 2 inch like this and mark. After marking that, I'll be coming down by 0.25 at the point I just marked like so. So next, I'm going to go ahead to draw the curve for the crotch. But before I go ahead to draw that curve, I'm going to be moving over to the waist. And on the waistline, I'm going to be going in by 2 inch from this point, and I'll go ahead to mark that. After marking that, I'll also be going up by 2 inch for the back rise of the trouser. This extension on the waistline of the back is going to make the trouser to sit properly, so that whenever the person wearing the trouser sits down, the back does not pull down. So you can go up by 2 inch or 2.5 inch, but 2 inch always work for me. So I'm just going to go ahead to draw a straight line at that point like this, after which I'll go ahead to draw the curve like you see me doing in the video. So I'm going to go ahead to fold in this front block like this, then I'll connect this point to meet with the waist like you see me doing in the video. So after connecting the point together, this is what the back crotch line is going to look like. The next thing I'm going to go ahead to do now is to move over to the waist. On the waistline, the first thing I'll go ahead to do is to extend the waist like you see me doing in the video. So remember, we went in by 2 inch at this point. We're going to be replacing that 2 inch on the side like this. So I'll place my tape rule and mark the 2 inch outward like this. After marking that, I'm going to go ahead to confirm that what I have from this point to this point is my actual waist measurement divided by 4. Next, I'm going to go ahead to connect this point to this point with a straight line like this. So the next thing I'm going to go ahead to do now is to move over to the hip depth line of the palazzo pants we are making. So if you look at the hip, the front and the back hip is not the same. So because it is not the same, I'm going to be going out by 0.5 inch on the back block of the trouser I'm making. So like I said earlier, I don't want my palazzo pants to be too loose. So I'm going to be going out by 0.5 inch on the hip depth line. So if you want yours to be very free, you can go out by 1 inch or whatever you want. So I'll be coming out by 0.5 inch on the hip depth line like this and mark. After marking that, I'll also be repeating the same thing on the crotch line, and I'll also go ahead to mark that. Next, I'll go ahead to connect the waist to the hip depth line with the curved part of my ruler like you see me doing in the video. So if you don't want yours to be fitted, if you want it to be very loose, you can decide to come out by 1 inch or by 1.5 inch depending on what you want. So you can keep experimenting it to get whatever you want. So once I'm done connecting it, the next thing I'm going to go ahead to do now is to move over to the nail. I want the front and the back nail to be the same. So what I'll just go ahead to do is to connect the cut line to the nail like you see me doing in the video. So if you want your shoulder to be very big, you can simply go ahead to just take that point to the hem. And I'll be repeating the same thing on the other side also. I'm just going to go ahead to connect the back crotch to the nail like you see me doing in the video. And I'll be repeating the same thing from the knee points to the hem of the palazzo pants. After which I'll go ahead to trace the front on the back like you see me doing in the video. So this is what the back block of the palazzo pants is going to look like once you're done drafting. The next I'm going to go ahead to do now is to cut it out. Note that I have not added my string allowance to this pant I'm making yet. I'm going to be doing that when I'm cutting on my fabric. So don't forget, you can also decide to add your allowance on your pattern, and you can decide to add it on your fabric when cutting on your fabric. After cutting, this is what the back block of the palazzo pants is going to look like. The next I'm going to go ahead to do now is to cut out the pocket for the front block of the palazzo pants that we are making. So here I have the front block of the palazzo pant I'm making. So before I go ahead to start drafting the pocket, the first thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to cut out this underbelly curve I have at this point. So I'm going to go ahead to cut it out like you see me doing in the video. So after cutting, the next thing to do is to mark out your waistband if you want to attach a waistband to your pants. But if you're not fixing a waistband to your pants, you can simply go ahead to skip this. So I'm just going to go ahead to mark 1 inch for the waistband like you see me doing in the video. And also don't forget to remove the same 1 inch for the waistband on the back block of the pants you are making before you go ahead to start cutting on your fabric. So this part here is going to be the waistband for the trouser you're making. So for the pockets, the first thing we're going to go ahead to do now is to insert the depth of the pocket. So a standard depth for a pocket is 7 inch. I'll go ahead to measure 7 inch downward like this and mark. After marking that, I'm going to be going in by 2 inch or 2.5 inch. So I'll just mark 2 inch inward like this and mark. Next, I'll connect that point to the depth of the pocket. So you can connect using a straight line, and you can decide to connect using a curve line depending on what you want the pocket to look like. So I'm just going to go ahead to connect using the curved part of my ruler like you see me doing in the video. So after drawing the pocket, this is what it is going to look like. The next thing I'm going to go ahead to do now is cut out the facing. But before I go ahead to cut out the facing, I'm going to be cutting out the waistband on the trouser like this and keep it aside. Then I'll get a fresh paper for the facing of the trouser I'm going to be cutting. So for the facing, you're going to go ahead to get a fresh paper like this. Then you fold the paper into two like you see me doing in the video. After which you're going to go ahead to place the front block of your pant on it like this. So you can decide to let your pocket stop on the hip depth line or on the crotch line, depending on how deep you want your pocket to be. And make sure that this side of the paper is straight. So I'm just going to go ahead to trim this part of the paper like you see me doing in the video. So after trimming it, the next thing I'm going to go ahead to do now is to place the paper underneath my front block like this, making sure that the folded part of the paper is close to the zipper area, and make sure that the facing does not get to the zipper area so you don't have issues after fixing your zippers to it. So the next thing I'm going to go ahead to do now is to pin down the facing and my front block like this, after which I'll go ahead to trace out this part of the front block on the facing. So guys, I didn't realize that my camera stopped recording. It was after I was done doing everything I realized that this part did not record. But what I went ahead to simply do was to trace out the side of the palazzo pant on the facing. Then I went ahead to cut it out, and after I was done cutting it out, I picked one piece of the facing and I cut it out with the curve I have on the front block of the palazzo pant. So this is what the pocket is going to look like. So when you place your facing and the front block together, make sure that it aligns like this. So you're going to be cutting one part of the facing with the curve you have on the front block of the pants you have already drafted. I hope this is clear. But if you have any question, you can simply go ahead to drop that question in the comment section and I'll reply to every question. So I also went ahead to curve the side of the pocket like this depends on the shape you want your pockets to have. So basically this is what the pocket of the palazzo pant is going to look like. So if you find this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment and also share this video. And if you want me to make the sewing part of this tutorial, kindly let me know about that in the comment section. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one.